Good afternoon. It is December the 7th, 2016, the 75th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. It is a significant date. I bet you if you ask a lot of people on the street, especially if they're less than 30 years old, they wouldn't know what the significance of December the 7th was. But right there is your low at 675. The first trade was a B here. We liked the long side of the market. We thought that we were going to take out 1375 or at least retest it. The second trade was here where you're long at 9, so you're long at 9 to 10. The trade went nowhere. I said we're just going to ride it. We got our stop out there because I thought the market was going high and we had no volatility to work with. I'm just kind of, screw it, we're in for the ride and we're going to see what happens. So if you came in on this B, no trade location. You came in on this B, really good trade location. Either of these two Bs, good trade location. The breakout right here, all of these worked out pretty well up to that point. And here we sit. So 36.75 was 30 points. We talked about that number. 36.50, not perfect, but pretty close. And so 36.75 to 41.75 would be 30 to 35 points. And then naturally, what if we stay above 22.25? What do we expect next? 22.50. If we take that out, 22.75. Remember last week when David Golub asked me what calls would I take off the long-term chart on the F1 chart on the E-mini? And we said 22.20 to 22.25 calls. And that information came on this breakout. I believe right here. I'm not. That would have been 80. I forget where it was. Maybe this J period extension, or I forget which one it was when we did it last week. But anyway, produced a good trade. Yeah, maybe it was right here when we exceeded that Y period high. Had us long in the 89 or 90 area. So anyway, it was a good trade, and we would have bought the 220, 225 calls, and this is the way that you can extend your trading horizon. Obviously, F1 right here says higher. F2 says higher, as long as we stay above 22.1375. It's going to be very easy for this market to trade higher. I don't see anything stopping us right now, and my guess is the players are saying ECB keeps rates the same and extends their QE program by another 6 months. If the market were to close right now, we'd be selling failure to take out 36.38. And this is a real possibility. After a strong trend day, they usually go a little bit higher in Globex or lower. Then they come back and consolidate the move. And we have initial support at 31.5, then 29. So 29 to 31 will be that first little buy band. So we'll put 29 to 31 buy 1. And then 25. So 24, 26 buy 2. And your guess is as good as mine on where we'll go if we take out 36.50 or wherever today's high is going to be. So second sell would be 40 to 45. But the secret to getting the most out of a trade is figuring out how to keep your hand off the mouse. Okay, we have news tomorrow. Jobless claims 255. Quarterly service survey. Looking for information revenues to be off a tenth, but up 3.8% for the year. Natural gas, I don't have an estimate for it. Last week it drew 50 BCF. It'll probably draw that or more this week. Okay, treasuries traded higher today too. That's unusual. But my guess is that everybody sees the ECB is keeping interest rates unchanged and their QE program intact. So higher, well, not really a higher low, so an outside day, so a trading range. So we could find sellers tomorrow on this, but right now everything, at least as far as the F2 screen will show, will be pointed higher. Strong P right here, so we have our 2-letter ledge over here, our 4-letter ledge. So 28 to the buck is resistance. 28 to the buck, sell 1. 3 to 7, sell 2. On the buy side, the last rotate stopped to the downside, stopped at 22 to 24. So we'll 17 to 21 on the idea that the strength in the E-mini might soak in on these guys. They might let something go, put a question mark at 24, and then 9 to 13 for buy 2. Jobless claims 255, kind of their default number. And probably nobody pays any attention to it anymore. It's what happens when you cry wolf long enough. Pretty soon no one pays any attention to you, and that's the problem that we have with our government bureaucracies and agencies. To cook the books and put themselves in the best possible light. We found out that the Fed is more worried about saving face than making the right decision. You get to the point where nobody believes you, and it's nobody's fault but your own. And that's how the world eventually maintains order. 2-letter ledge at 151.20. So we've got resistance 16 to 20. Got this 2-letter ledge to spill, so we'll make 23.27, kind of get right in the middle of that. Sell 1. 3 to 7, sell 2. On the buy side, we have a G period low at 02. We're currently at 12. We have an M period low at 6. L period low at 4. 2 to 6, number 1. 25.29 buy 1. And buy number 2, 13 to 17. Gold was sleepy today, didn't do a whole hell of a lot. Got up a little bit higher than we thought it would go for our first sell, but did not get to our second. So we have an outside day, that's trading range. When the day session starts tomorrow, we'll have our answer on what the ECB did. Right now, if somebody put a gun to your head on the F1 screen, you'd be short. Trading range is what the F1 screen shows. F2 is definitely a P. Perhaps a new move, started lower in I period, don't know. So it looks like we got a seller above 82 and a buyer below 69. So 79 to 81, sell 1. 84, 86, sell 2. On the buy side, I'm going to put a little lower, 70, 72 buy 1. And 65, 67 buy 2. Okay, crude was kind of all over the place today, but definitely a seller above 51, and buyer is in that 49.50 area. Lower high, lower low, it can sell, and again, don't be surprised if it does sell. The OPECers are sending the non-OPECers a message that if you don't agree to our deal right here, prices are headed a lot lower. They do that when they need to get just about his attention. Everybody expects them to cheat, but there will be some sort of agreement on paper. Rest assured that will happen. Even if they have to go back and agree with production levels for October or November of this year, because everybody was producing at record levels, that they can do. If that is the case, they'll come out and say economic growth is going to absorb the difference. Okay, we had a pretty nice spill into the close. There was an article out on Iran, from Iran, where their oil minister says we basically can produce as much as we can sell. Really no restrictions on us, and that would bring in selling. So we still haven't cracked the 49.50 area. So buy side is 75 to 50, buy one. And buy two is 49 even, 49 and a quarter. On the sell side, 50 and a quarter, 50-50. There'll probably be a countering article out tonight, overnight, taking back what the Iranian oil minister meant to say was. So the dangers in the short side. You'll have some OPEC oil minister bailing you out if you're long. And the euro, all down to what Draghi says. Draghi can move the market 1 to 3 points, and he have. The expectations are no change in rates, and roll the current QE program at least forward another 6 months. Inside day trading range on the F1 screen, awaiting a news announcement. A P right here, so we've got sellers at definitely had a seller at 75, and that's where resistance is. So sell one at 75, sell two at 108. The danger is not so much in his announcement, it's what he says at the press conference. Gosh, I hate to do that, but going into the announcement tomorrow, I guess 75s buy one, and 25s buy two. And that does it for this December the 12th, 2007, Pearl Harbor Day, characterized by Roosevelt as a day of infamy. And what's amazing, if you ever do get out to Hawaii to see the site, is how small the harbor was and how tightly the ships were packed from a military standpoint. So it's worth the tour if you get over there. Hey, see you bright and early in the morning. 32 is today's high. We're forecast low tonight at 12. So tomorrow's high is supposed to be less than 30. Then we warm back up into the 40s over the weekend. Y'all have a great evening. I'll see you bright and early in the morning.